The role of a data analyst varies depending on the type of organization and the extent to which it has adopted data-driven practices. There are some responsibilities that are typical to a data analyst role in today's organizations. These include acquiring data from primary and secondary data sources, creating queries to extract required data from databases and other data collection systems, filtering, cleaning, standardizing, and reorganizing data in preparation for data analysis, using statistical tools to interpret data sets, using statistical techniques to identify patterns and correlations in data, analyzing patterns in complex data sets and interpreting trends, preparing reports and charts that effectively communicate trends and patterns, creating appropriate documentation to define and demonstrate the steps of the data analysis process. Corresponding to these responsibilities, let's look at some of the skills that are valuable for a data analyst. The data analysis process requires a combination of technical, functional, and soft skills. Let's first look at some of the technical skills that you need in your role as a data analyst. These include expertise in using spreadsheets such as Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, proficiency in statistical analysis and visualization tools and software such as IBM Cognos, IBM SPSS, Oracle Visual Analyzer, Microsoft Power BI, SAS, and Tableau. Proficiency in at least one of the programming languages such as R, Python, and in some cases C++, Java, and MATLAB. Good knowledge of SQL and ability to work with data in relational and NoSQL databases. The ability to access and extract data from data repositories, such as data marts, data warehouses, data lakes, and data pipelines. Familiarity with big data processing tools, such as Hadoop, Hive, and Spark. We will understand more about the features and use cases of some of these programming languages, databases, data repositories, and big data processing tools further along in the course. Now let's look at some of the functional skills that you require for the role of data analyst. These include proficiency in statistics to help you analyze your data, validate your analysis, and identify fallacies and logical errors. Analytical skills that help you research and interpret data, theorize, and make forecasts. Problem-solving skills, because ultimately the end goal of all data analysis is to solve problems. Probing skills that are essential for the discovery process, that is, for understanding a problem from the perspective of varied stakeholders and users, because the data analysis process really begins with a clear articulation of the problem statement and desired outcome. Data visualization skills that help you decide on the techniques and tools that present your findings effectively based on your audience, type of data, context, and end goal of your analysis. Project management skills to manage the process, people, dependencies, and timelines of the initiative. That brings us to your soft skills as a data analyst. Data analysis is both a science and an art. You can ace the technical and functional expertise, but one of the key differentiators for your success is going to be soft skills. This includes your ability to work collaboratively with business and cross-functional teams, communicate effectively to report and present your findings, tell a compelling and convincing story, and gather support and buy-in for your work. Above all, being curious is at the heart of data analysis. In the course of your work, you will stumble upon patterns, phenomena, and anomalies that may show you a different path. The ability to allow new questions to surface and challenge your assumptions and hypotheses makes for a great analyst. You will also hear data analysis practitioners talk about intuition as a must-have quality. It's essential to note that intuition in this context is the ability to have a sense of the future based on pattern recognition and past experience.
A day in the life of a data analyst can include a number of possibilities, from acquiring data from varied data sources to creating queries for pulling data from data repositories, foraging through rows of data to look for insights, creating reports and dashboards, and interacting with stakeholders for gathering information and presenting the findings. It's a spectrum. And yes, the big one. Cleaning and preparing the data so that the findings have a credible basis which, by the way, is a large part of what any data analyst may find themselves doing in their jobs. But if I had to walk you through any one type of day, I'm going to pick one which has me foraging through data looking for insights. This is the part of my job that I am totally in awe of. Hi, I am Sivaram Jaladi. I work as a data analyst with Fluent Grid, a smart grid technology solutions company based in Visakhapatnam in India. Fluent Grid is an IBM partner and the recipient of IBM Beacon Awards for its solutions in the areas of smart energy and smart city industry segments. We offer integrated operations center solutions for power utilities and smart cities, leveraging our actionable intelligence platform known as Fluent Grid Actilligence. Our client, our power utility company in South India, has been noticing a spike in complaints regarding overbilling, and the frequency of these complaints seems to suggest there is something more to it than random occurrences. So, I'm asked to look at the complaints and the billing data and see if I can spot something. I start by taking stock of what I have. Some of the obvious places that I know I am going to be looking into is the complaint data, the subscriber information data, and the billing data. That's going to be my starting point. Before I dive into the specifics of the data, I'm going to make a list of questions, initial hypotheses that I'm going to start with, such as 1. The usage pattern of subscribers reporting this issue. Is there a consumption range for which overbilling is occurring more than others? 2. Area-wise concentration of complaints. Are the complaints concentrated in specific localities within the city? 3. Frequency and occurrence of complaints based on individual subscribers. Are the same subscribers reporting overbilling repetitively? If yes, what is the frequency of occurrence in repeat cases? If a subscriber is overbilled once, does the overbilling occur every month from the first occurrence? Or are repeat occurrences sporadic or not at all? As I get clear on my initial hypotheses and the set of questions I'm going to start with, I identify the data sets that I'm going to isolate and analyze to validate or refute my hypotheses. I pull out the average annual, quarterly, and monthly billing amounts of the complainants and look for a range in which the complaints are falling more than others. I then pull up the location data of the complainants to see if there is a connection between overbilling and zip codes. Here I see what seems to be a concentration of complaints in certain areas. This looked like it could add up to something. So, instead of moving to the third hypothesis, I decide to get a little deeper into this data. Next, I pull out the date of connection data. More than 95% of the complainants had been our subscribers for more than 7 years, though not all subscribers over the 7-year mark were facing this complaint. So now, we see some area-wise concentration and we see a significant concentration of complaints based on the date of connection. Next, I pull out the make and the serial number of the meters. And there it is. The serial numbers belonged to the same batch of meters provided by the same supplier. The concentration of these meters and therefore the complaints was coming from areas in which these meters were installed. At this stage, I feel confident in presenting these findings to the stakeholders. I'm also going to share the data sources and my process of arriving at this analysis. That always goes a long way in lending credibility to the findings. This could be the end of this project, or it may very well come back. Maybe the same complaints with different commonalities, or a completely different set of complaints for which we need to find answers.